I'm Pete Dolby. I live in Sanford Road in Hotwells. I'm a balloonist and artist. We've got an amazing space under the flyovers and the network of roads in Hotwells that needs to be available to the community.
I've been working with the Cumberland Piazza steering group project, which is part of Hotwells and Cliftonwood Community Association. The idea is to redevelop this space as a recreational space for the community to use and visitors to the area. It has great potential. At the moment it's a bit rough, and so we've organised this event this weekend to try out planting and art, so people can have a look and think about whether they would like to see a bit more of this going on here.
It's almost like a blank canvas, and it really appeals to artists in the community. We could really develop this space. There are huge areas of concrete which could become incredibly attractive and inspirational. All we need is people to get down there and work on the, well, I'll say it again, this blank canvas.
We were looking at ideas of how to produce a light installation for the space as a permanent installation. Inspired by the reflection on the underside of the Plimsoll Bridge and some of the flyover from the harbour water, I was thinking that might make a nice permanent piece to project onto the underside of the flyovers. So I just put together some images to see what local people might be interested in, and that was called Reflections of Hotwells.
I'm Liz Purnell, I live in Sanford Road and I'm a composer. So the project that I did with the Hotwells School kids, class 4, was taking the kids down to the space and with a storyteller helping them create stories about who may have lived there, what the space could be used for in the future. I kind of cut them with an interview with my elderly neighbour Ian, who's lived there all his life, so has lots of memories about what the space used to be like and what life in Hotwells used to be like. The stories were recorded, I put them onto an MP3 player, and the rinky-dink 3 bicycle powered PA system broadcast it riding around the concreted area, which I thought was really fun.
Looking at the flyover space, it made me think about other spaces in the world which people are forced to live under. I was thinking how it might be quite nice to reconstruct a recyclable installation. So we constructed it with some of the children and filled them with kitschy type objects to kind of represent the houses that had been before. Also to see what a 3-dimensional piece or a piece of sculpture might look like in the space.
Bob Walton, who's a poet, wrote a piece which was originally conceived as an oratorio. Bob and other local residents who contributed to the Voices of the Pillars stood on the podium and did a fantastic poetry reading interspersed with music played by myself and Pete Judge, having the voices echoing around the space in the vicinity of the pillars, which it was talking about. Each pillar was given a sort of character and imagining.
It's really helpful for us to be able to get people's opinions so that we can put some proper plans together and get support from the council and funding. So it's little tasters of what might be possible, and we'd like people's opinions and their ideas.
Well, I've been chatting to a couple of the young lads, and it's actually their idea. They like basketball nets, and they like five-a-side football. Football pitch a bit like the one that's over on the displays there under the Westway in London. Maybe some cricket nets, if that was possible. Similar thing with golf, you know, like practicing your swing.
I think it'd be used a lot if it was used with a sort of scooter park, skate park facility.
There's somebody who does samba classes, and she thought that she could do samba classes under here in the summer, and I could also do free yoga classes under here in the summer. We may be restricted, unfortunately, to summer because of the weather, I guess, but if we could get a community building, then we could continue in the colder months, or even just a covered area, I think. Although, I mean, obviously this is covered, but I think maybe a community building would be nice. And then also the young lads I was speaking to said that if we pick a night, we can all meet over here and just see how we can use the space. You know, just bring balls, bring other gaming equipment, and just see if it feels like it'd work. Really, I guess that's the thing. So it's quite exciting.
Of real value to the local community. It could be there as a garden space, a space for people to socialise and get to know each other, a place for kids to have a good time, to express themselves in play areas. There's a lot of space there, and although we've got roads crisscrossing the area, with the right sort of build and infrastructure and green areas, it is actually a very pleasant area to be in.
I'm Marion. I live just across the road here at 16 Dowry Parade, so I'm overlooking this flyover. And I just love the idea of things growing. I mean, I love this tree here, and it's so beautiful, and I think we need more lovely trees and we need plants growing, because at the moment it's just tarmac, which is very dead, and it's such a shame because we are the first bit that people see when they come into Bristol, and we are in such a beautiful spot, and yet we've got this horrible concrete stuck in the middle of it. It's ridiculous. What a waste. People could be sitting here on parks chairs and looking at the river, admiring the view. These planters that people are putting up give a bit of colour, and I think flowers, you know, and it's hard to look after, but I think people might help with that.
Hopefully in the future, working with the local community, we can develop some permanent art pieces in the space, and it would be great if they were a combination of painted pieces, sculpture and light installation, even sound installation. Let's see.
I think this is a great opportunity for people in the community to come together and work together in an area that has really been neglected. I think if we just can maybe use the auspices of Hotwells and Clifton Wood Community Association to bring people together to sort of help in this project. You know, it's a project that would benefit the whole community, and I think the more it's put out there and people are aware of it, then I think the more people will get involved in it.
So to bring everyone together, people are being brought together today just by this little thing going on. It's not very much, but people love it.